So there's an executive order from President Biden on cryptocurrency, and it came out March 9th. It's literally talking about how the United States is getting ready to issue their own cryptocurrency, well, their own digital asset, and the role of the United States in digital currencies. That came out today. You know what's going to mess people up when they realize it's not monopoly money like they think? Because everybody always has such negative things to say without doing any research. That's what's going to mess people up. Because what's coming out in the news, what's coming out in the media is different. So, like,
For sure.
they're going to miss it because being stubborn, not being open-minded, just eyes closed. It's sad. Right now, we got an executive order from the President of the United States. I mean, would the president write about monopoly money? I don't know. I don't think so.
For sure. And I pulled it up right here, too. Thanks for holding it down. I hope people come with, like, a lot of doubts and questions, but...
Me too.
For sure, because this right here was just more solidification that we're on the right track. What's good,
Right.
Wazir? Well, we got to have Wazir join in one day too.
Yeah.
Dope
Hey,
rappers.
Myra. Hey,
Go ahead.
Alex. I was just saying hi to Alex and Myra.
Hey, what's good, Alex? What is it, and how do I get started? Matter of fact, maybe we should start off with some fundamentals and then kind of go into what this executive order is. So I think to start off, passing that to Lala would be great. So what is crypto, and how can Honey Child get started?
Really, it depends. Crypto is a lot of things. Crypto is art. Crypto is money. Crypto is basically technology built on the blockchain or built using distributed ledger technology. I would tell you that it's just digital money, but it's more than that. When you think of cryptocurrency, you're talking about digital money, but there are all types of crypto assets. You got art, you got gaming, you got utility coins. There's just going to be so many levels. There's going to be utility in the medical field, utility in the legal field. So crypto is a new technology. You can't hear me, ASJCG. Can everybody else hear me? Alex,
I
can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Okay.
They might have their volume down or something.
Really, when you think of it's like asking what is the internet? When you ask what is blockchain or what is crypto, it's the same. It's along the same lines. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, Myra, don't overcomplicate it, but think of it as more than just money. Because if you limit it to that, you're gonna miss it. How do you get started? How you want to get started? Sit down and set some goals for yourself. How do you want to get started? What do you want out of crypto? Yes.
For sure. Oh wait, like you said, what?
Oh, I'm looking at the comments. Night before 1984 said there's definitely a learning curve associated with crypto. Yes.
For sure. So like what sources would you get people to go to research?
Start with something simple. Start with YouTube. Start with CoinStats or CoinGecko. If you go from YouTube back and forth to CoinGecko, you should be able to follow the rabbit holes to other information. When you go and you look on YouTube, look up what is cryptocurrency, look up how do I get started. Sites like Coinbase will give you free crypto if you go on there and take a test. Like go on Coinbase, watch a video, it takes like 30 seconds. They're going to ask you one question and then they're going to pay you for your time. So that's a great way to get started because you're learning and they're paying you for your time. So I would do those things. Don't pay anybody to learn about crypto. Let me tell y'all that. Don't pay nobody to learn about crypto. Don't join a Forex club about crypto. If you want to learn how to trade, that's different. But if you want to teach yourself how to be in crypto and how to invest, you don't need nobody with you.
There you go. I wish I could pin that. Like that's a major gem right there. Don't pay anybody to learn about crypto.
Mm-hmm.
What's good, TP? She said peace to all the Moors. What's good? So yeah, don't pay anybody to learn about crypto. And I think that's why it's dope that Lala's doing this for free. Like Lala Crypto Wealth Builders, they're giving this information for free. There's other people charging, we can understand, I guess, yeah, they did the research and they're charging people to learn and everything, but you really don't have to pay to learn. It's just a
You
matter
don't.
of if you want to put in that time to soak the game up yourself. With the sources that you named, like YouTube and I forgot what else you named, but what should people be searching?
Whatever they want to know about it, I would start with what is blockchain? What is distributed ledger technology? What is a budget? What is the history of money? What is the history of banking? I think that's really important right now. You need history of money and history of banking because it's predicting what's happening. If you look at what happened before, you just see it playing out. Like this executive order is getting ready to implement a change in the financial structure. Well, we had that executive order 6102 back in 1930 something. So when you know your money history, things are more believable because you're like, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I've heard this before. Oh, I remember this from history of money. I remember this from history of banking. And it's going to take the wool off your eyes. When you start teaching yourself the stuff they don't teach you in school, your eyes going to be like, oh my God, I did not even know stuff like the Federal Reserve is not an actual government entity. It's privately owned. So our
Right.
money is controlled by a privately owned institution. A lot of people don't know that.
For
So
sure.
yeah, you know.
And their actions show you that it shows that our money isn't even our money. The way they could shut it off. Like look what they did to, the Canadian protesters when they were protesting the trucking and the vaccines and everything. They could turn your money off when they want to. So that's the scary part. And it's gonna even get even scarier with the CBDCs. We're gonna touch on that too as this goes on. Honey Child said, in what ways do you invest in crypto?
How do you invest in crypto? That's a really good question. There are a few ways you can invest in crypto. You got to decide what your personal goals are, and that's how you get to where you invest in crypto. So once you start understanding technology, apply it to yourself. Do you have a business? Do you just want to save for retirement? Do you want to plan for a business? Do you want to, what do you want to do? Do you want to shift over and incorporate the technology in what you already do? Do you want to start working for yourself? And once you identify that, then you'll know what to do. If you're an artist, if you are in the legal field, if you are somebody that puts out creative stuff, you might want to look at NFTs. You might want to look at starting your own NFT because you're very early. If you are trying to save for retirement or just trying to save for an investment, you may want to start looking at DeFi. What is decentralized finance? CFI, what is centralized finance? If you're trying to get off the government system and you like, F the system, you're trying to do your own thing, be your own bank, then you want to look at a combination of things. Maybe you want to look at mining. Maybe you want to look at nodes as a service, mining, that's verifying transactions, creating crypto. You maybe want to also look at DeFi if you're trying to be your own bank, because if you're trying to be your own bank, you need to operate like a bank, offer the services to yourself like a bank. What are those services? So DeFi, mining, and then accumulation at the bottom. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. You figure out what you're trying to do and then come back and ask me again and I'll tell you exactly where to go.
For sure. And for those who don't know what, like one thing Lala said is DeFi, which is decentralized finance. And one way to utilize that is basically letting your crypto or your money sit and accumulating interest, or I guess it's called, like, what is it called? Like, what's a better word than interest for DeFi?
I mean, that's most people will
Rewards.
recognize that word,
For
interest.
sure.
Everybody know what that means.
For sure. But in the crypto, it's like rewards. So it's just letting your money sit and you get a greater percentage than leaving it at the bank. And that's part of why this executive order came, to be honest. Like the US is trying to get themselves and the banks positioned to be the one that controls decentralized finance.
I was reading it. I only got to like letter D, but I got past the part you just mentioned. And you're absolutely right. They mentioned in the executive order, they're like, listen, we need to be at the head of this. In order to be at the head of this, we're going to need y'all to get with it. We're going to need y'all to write some laws. We're going to need y'all to provide some clarity. We're going to need y'all to, to look through security. What are the risks? How do we get started? How do we push this out? What's the structure need to be? Who do we need to tell? How are we going to teach the people? How are we going to protect the people?
For
They're doing
sure.
all of that in that executive order. I think it's bullish, honestly, for
For
the
sure.
entire space.
For sure. It's that clarity, and then they also bring in that regulation, then it becomes mass adoption. And we're trying to give people the free information before it becomes mass adoption so we could position ourselves to reap great benefits and change our lives and create generational wealth.
So
Um,
important.
for sure. And Robbins asked, where does crypto go? In a digital bank or?
Where it's stored, it depends on where you want to store it. That's a conversation about crypto storage. So where does your money go now? Some of it could be in the mattress. You can't do that with crypto. Some of it could be in a bank. Some of it could be, you know, in your wallet. Same concept. In crypto, it could be on an exchange like a bank, and it could be in a wallet like a crypto wallet. So it just depends on where you want to store it.
For sure. But I'm looking through the question now. Will this live be
Mm-hmm.
saved? Yeah, I'm gonna do a better job of putting the lives on YouTube, but the lives will be posted on the page as well. Let me see.
If you just
Some
got here, I hope you had a good day, or a good night, depending on the time zone you're in.
Oh yeah, for sure. And somebody asked earlier, miss what? I guess like you were saying, if people could miss the wave of crypto or miss the chance to position themselves.
Yeah. You know, when an innovation first takes off, that's when the money changes hands. That's when the wealth transfer happens. So you got to get in you got to get in. You got to be early. Right now, we're early, extremely early. That's why it's still unbelievable. If we were late, when we mentioned it, everybody would be like, yeah, we know about that. Just like if I say internet, you'll be like, yeah, we know about that. But I was alive before the internet was common language. And back then, people thought people were crazy for talking about the internet. So you are extremely early. You have so much time. You should be so excited to do your research. And it's early. Have a good evening.
For sure.
Thanks for stopping by. OGTP 202 Bay. That's a long one.
People are super early, and I think that's what makes me scratch my head too. When people be like, "Everybody already there, they made their money, they got in early," and I'm like, "Man, if only y'all knew about what Lala and other people just big up so much, which is XRP and ISO
Yeah,
20022 coins.
yeah.
If only you guys knew how early you guys are, like how early we are, the
Yes.
opportunity we have is so cheap right now."
Yeah, it's I think people have like real short-term mindsets, and that's the challenge.
For sure.
And it's hard because it's new, right? And so when you just start learning about it, it's hard to have a long-term mindset about something you don't understand.
For sure. It's hold on. Somebody asked, Derek asked, is that decentralized finance similar to the concept of reinvesting dividends?
Uh, yes and no. Decentralized finance or being in something that's DeFi, you're talking about a technology that's one way to think of decentralized. But really, DeFi is doing the stuff you could do with a bank or a financial advisor without using a bank or a financial advisor. That's what the DeFi space is about. The DeFi space is about cutting out the middleman and doing whatever it is, whether it's lending, borrowing, whether it's investing, whatever it may be, you don't need a bank. You don't need a financial advisor, intermediary. Just you using the service and you in control. That's really what DeFi is. When you get into the word decentralized, you won't find that word in the early white papers because that's a new kind of coined phrase, but the old heads, like some of them don't like that word. What it means when you think about decentralized is no one's in charge. There's no one in charge. There's no one person in charge. That's all that decentralized finance means. It means the ability to operate in the financial services sector without any one person being in charge.
Got you. So without any one person being in charge,
Yeah.
what do you think is coming when the government gets involved? Like with this executive order, it lets you know they position themselves to, kind of grab it and get their grip on it. What do you think will change?
I'm not really sure. What I hope will change is because he gave a deadline in the executive order. I hope that we're going to get the reports that he's saying, because he put a deadline on it.
For
He
sure.
gave them the assignment and he said when. So hopefully once we get those reports, we're going to see so much forward progress, the beginning of a structure, the beginning of clarity, the beginning of, you know, real institutions starting to utilize crypto assets for their utility, and not just because they're, you know, their speculation, but actually for the reason they were created. That's what I'm thinking we're going to start to see. Once it's out there in an executive order by the president, I don't really think it gets more legitimate than that. Like how, I don't think, I mean, it's the president
For
of the
sure.
United States, right? So.
For sure. And Jerome Powell put out that statement recently that he believes there could be more than one reserve currency. I don't think people know what that means.
They don't. They don't. It is
Like,
true that the financial system is changing. That's what it means. All of this stuff means the financial system is changing. The fact that they stopped taking, you know, cash and coins during COVID is a change. The fact that, you know, now you see a lot of emphasis on touchless and contactless payments, that's a change. Now they're talking about all this time, for the last 110 years, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency, meaning the entire world relies on the US dollar. That's a very simple way of saying it. It's deeper than that, but the entire world bases, some of them are basing their economies off the value of the US dollar. The US dollar is the go-to. It's who you follow. The US dollar is everybody's currency. It's the world's currency. And I think it's going to lose its status. He's already saying it. They're already prepping the United States. They're telling you, oh, we don't just have to have one. Well, we've always only had one for the last, I don't know, 1,000 years, 800, 900,000 years or more. There's always only been one at a time. So that's a change to the system for him to say we can have more than one. For the president to say we're going to have CBDCs, that's a change to the financial system. It's changing. People just aren't, it's not clicking that it's changing. But if you start watching this stuff all the time, you might not understand it at first. You might not get it. It was very confusing. And I've been doing money for over 20 years, 2 decades in money, 2 decades in teaching about like the accounting, finance, budgeting, taxation. So even for me, I really had to like dig deep and research, and everything I didn't understand, that wasn't nothing to get intimidated by. That was something to just ask questions and keep going, take notes. You can do this. You can learn this for yourself. It's not impossible. And let me tell you, it's important that you learn it for yourself. You can't be your own bank relying on other people. You can't have control of your finances relying on other people. It's time for you to rely on yourself. And we are not taught that in the United States. We're not taught empowerment. This is how you empower yourself in your personal finances. Commit to the research.
tell them. That's bars right there for sure. And Honey Child asked the question. I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh,
She basically, it was earlier. She basically asked, is this the new internet or... okay, there we go. She said, do you think this would be as huge as the internet in 5 years? And is this basically canceling out paper money?
I don't think we can cancel out paper money, because I was just, you know, randomly driving down the street. What about access for like people that, you know, can't? They have to use paper money. They can't get to technology, or they're unbanked. So I don't think paper money is going anywhere. And I've read a lot of white papers from central banks and from the World Bank and IMF, and they don't talk about paper money disappearing. This is supposed to modify the system, but not completely destroy paper money. So no, I don't think paper money is going to go away. What was her other question?
And she said, is crypto, like the space, going to be as big as the internet in 5 years?
I think it's going to be really big and get bigger from here. How long did it take the internet to be like a household thing? How long did it take us to go from talking about it and computers being like the size of a refrigerator to people having computers in their homes?
For sure. I think also too, like, this is the tech that's going to be building. Well, some of crypto projects are going to be the tech that's building the new internet, that's building the next level in the technology as it grows, like the metaverse. I think this is helping create that. So I do feel like
Yeah.
it's going to be bigger than the internet because it's going to be the new normal, and it's also going to be the main reality for most people. I feel because we're already glued to our phones, which is the metaverse already. So imagine once you could throw on a headset and drive the car you always wanted, or do what you always wanted in the virtual world. It's going to be tough for a lot of people to come out. So I feel like it's going to be bigger than the internet, in my opinion.
I think so too, because think about how often and how attached we are to our devices. That's going to grow.
For sure. I can't say the name, but Animu said,
Mm-hmm.
"What about the stock market? Is that worth learning, or is the stock market nothing compared to crypto?"
I think that, and I don't just think, all assets will be tokenized. And what I mean by that is all assets will be represented digitally. Do I think that we should get away from owning actual physical goods? No. But I think if you're going to accumulate wealth, you accumulate it with cryptocurrency and then you diversify just like you would any area. Do I think stocks are worth learning? Stocks are going to get tokenized. So if you want to get ahead of the game, even in stocks, learning the technology, learning blockchain and distributed ledger technology, learning where they're going with the Internet of Value, Internet of Things, that's going to help you a little bit more because even stocks are going to be digital. They already are, but even more so. They're going to be tokenized.
For sure.
They're going
And
to be
what?
crypto.
Oh, there you go. Because I was about to ask you, like, to break it down real quick. What
Yeah, they're
does
going to
it
be
like? What
crypto
is?
too.
And that's what tokenizing is, right?
Yes.
Got you. So when you tokenize something, you you make it a crypto. You make it an NFT, a non-fungible token, which means you could use that as currency, low key. High
Yes.
key. I saw something. I forgot what his name was, but he was saying NFTs are going to be money. It's going to be a whole new world of monies. That's what we're entering, and that's what we're seeing now. I think that's why it's important, even with the timing of the Russia versus Ukraine thing and the sanctions. We're looking
Yeah.
at Russia going, all right, we don't care about these sanctions. We're going to maneuver differently. We're positioning with gold. We have, cryptos. I think we're entering a new world. Like,
We are. It's a new world order.
I think
And
a lot
this
of
is
people are
what that
scared of
looks
that.
like.
A lot of people are scared of that word, that phrase.
Well, I was too, because I mean, when you think about it, it starts getting connected to some crazy stuff. Like, what do
For
you mean
sure.
by New World Order? But that's what's happening. We are watching the New World Order unfold. Like, we're watching it.
For sure. Dr.
Yeah.
Bell Dr. Bell said Ready Player One. For real. I think they put it in our face with these movies. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. And Night Before 1984 said, "It's sad. I don't want to live in a virtual world. Our bodies will suffer." For real. I think this sounds, I don't know, like, this might sound crazy, but that's why I feel like it's important for people to look into like projects that are in the ISO 20022
Yeah.
selection, but also other cryptos they did their research and believe in, because we have to make money off of what the quote unquote elite are making money off of. If everybody came together and said F the system, cool, it'll be easier to take down.
Yep.
But if since we can't unify on that note, we might as well you might as well position yourself to make money with these people who are building
Mm-hmm.
this world. That way you don't have to live in the conditions they're putting for the other people, for the other percentages. It sounds crazy, but that's just what you have to do. You gotta prepare, help those you can, continue to
Yeah.
help those, but also position yourself to eat with them so you don't
Yeah.
starve.
You're right. I mean, and it's not often. Like when I found and figured out what was happening with XRP, I cannot find my pen, but somebody mentioned negative, like what do I think the negative consequences are? I don't want to lose the questions. And then somebody mentioned ISO. There it is. I found my pen. So somebody asked about negativity and somebody asked about ISO. I don't want to forget
Oh,
their questions.
I think I see Derek. He said, what do you think could be unintended negative consequences of this move over to a more digital society?
Before I answer that, like what you said was so powerful. This is an opportunity and it's unprecedented. When the internet came out, I was just a child. And even if I wasn't, I didn't have the resources back then to take advantage of what I see happening. And by resources, $50 went a long way for me in crypto. That's what people don't understand. $50 went a long way. And it's like when you're getting in something in its infancy, you don't have to have a lot of capital to get invested. If we had known how big the internet was going to be, everybody would have gotten in. That's what happens. People always think the new people are crazy to a new technology. They always going to doubt. They're always going to be misbelief. And that's why only a few people get through. And you said, you know, this is an opportunity to do what they do. Absolutely. I am mirroring the actions of banks and big business. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, you a bank? I'm a bank. What you doing? And then I go copy on a smaller scale. So I just thought that was so powerful that you mentioned that, because this is a chance really that I think happens a generation or sometimes a lifetime. Do your own research. Nobody is trying to sell you anything. I do crypto literacy, and crypto literacy is me gathering educators and me paying them to just put solid informational content out there, educational content out there. That's my goal. So doing this, telling y'all the information, I hope that so many Black people listen, like people of color, people marginalized, people disenfranchised, people that didn't come from nothing, people that are looking to change their lives for generations, their families' lives. Just do your research. Do your research. Like 5 years from now, if you do not do your research, you are going to regret it.
For sure. That's big facts. And I'm gonna go back to that to something you said too, but Alex already answered, but I'm not sure if Leia's seen it. It's ISO 20022. Do some research on what projects are going into ISO 20022. Those are cryptos that are gonna be helping build the pipeline for the new financial system.
Yeah.
If you can get a piece of that, you're basically getting a piece of the money. Like you're investing in the tech that is enhancing the new financial system. If you look at it like computers, systems always got to get updated. They get slow over time. We've been on this money system for so long, and it's outdated. We're using paper money in 2022. It's crazy. We're still using gasoline cars. It's crazy. And now we see the way they're changing things. I feel like part of the reason why gas is so high is because they want people to pivot to electronic cars. But that's another topic for another day. But let's keep it on crypto. Also too, Lala, what you said, that's super important. Like Black people, people of color, marginalized people. It's the perfect time to get in because we can build in this space. We can learn this tech, and then we could build before corporations come and build. Like nobody has our perspective. Nobody has, our interests. We create the cool. We control the cool. So all we have to do is learn this technology and build. Because time is just going to take time to catch up. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm scrolling down to look at these other questions.
I can't see them. I try to scroll, but
yeah, I see one from Honeychild. She said, "In what ways have you guys invested in crypto, and what are some positive outcomes?"
Somebody asked about what are the negative implications.
Oh yeah,
I think there could be some issues with privacy and control.
Privacy and control.
I think we saw that already, just like what you said. How they, and I think you mentioned it earlier too, Busy, how they cut off access to people's like wallets.
Right. For sure.
I think all the time, like I think their reasons for doing it be too broad. So you don't like me, so you cut off access to my wallet. That's one of the things. And social credit scores being able to be implemented. I think those are some negatives. There are plenty of negatives to go along with the positives. So yeah, I would look at those things. Think about the control and privacy, those sorts of issues, like human rights issues. Some of the other negatives, of course, there's going to be people that are bad actors that use it for the wrong reasons. So making sure that you can catch those people without being too rough or too tight on the people that are not criminals. So I feel like those are some of the negatives. Positives. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Positives. Financial inclusion is a really huge one. Financial access is a really huge one. There are a lot of people without access to money, without access to banking, access to the financial system, whether they're denied or barred or locked out. But financial inclusion is a huge one. Positives. Another positive is Black people are very brilliant. And when you do your statistics, you're going to see that a lot of the investors in crypto, for us to how much we make up of the planet, there are a lot of Black investors. So one of the positives for me is watching all these new people that with this opportunity to invest in this space do it, and then watch their mindsets and what they're going to be empowered to do once they're very wealthy, which they will be because they're very early. So I think that's a positive. I think what people like myself or like Busy or like you, what we would do knowing what's going on in the world, I think that that's super positive. I could go on and on about the positives. There are a lot. Self-expression. There are a lot of people locked out of like the art world, the music world, access to, say, for example, medical records across the globe. That's going to be a huge positive. Say you're in France and you're the first case of this new epidemic, and then somebody way over in the United States or Australia, they can like research that database and compare it and get your same stats. You're 25 years old, you're 6'2", you're this, you're that, that kind of thing. I think there's so many positives. There are a lot of positives to cryptocurrency. So do your research. Do your research and figure out what those could be, especially as you apply them to you. Like, what's the positive for me? How can crypto help me? That's where I would go with it.
For sure. And Honey Child also asked, in what ways have you guys invested in crypto?
Well, I'm invested in a lot of projects, different projects that I believe in. And then I also trade it. And then I'm heavy in the DeFi space. I really feel like my money is supposed to make money. I feel like I'm supposed to have all my time. I want all my time. So I'm heavy in DeFi. I'm heavy in nodes as a service. Those are some of the ways that I've invested into the space. I've got some like borderline gaming NFT type investments with one project called Clever. My favorite project, is XRP. I'm an accountant. I work in accounting and finance. I run a department, finance and accounting department. So I love the education of money. I was an associate professor for a long time. So for me, investing in education in the space, and that's what I'm doing. That's how I've invested my time. I schedule like 3 or 4 times a week just to spend hours doing this. That's how I invest in crypto, by providing and gathering others that provide free information so that not everybody gets left behind. That's another way I invest in the space. And it's a way you can invest in the space, because as soon as you start learning it, baby, you're going to want to tell everybody. You're going to be like, wait a minute.
For sure. For sure. Kareem said, what do you think Black people's place will be in the new world order? I feel like that's up to us to create, especially with this opportunity. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You want it.
Yeah, I was about to say that's up to us, and that's why we have this opportunity. Like, it's like that Drake album, "What a Time to Be Alive." Like, we have the chance. Like, we have what we've been asking for, a chance to level the playing field and position ourselves correctly. Yeah. So, aside from just the getting money aspect of it, the tech is being able to be like, all right, we can now create our own future instead of letting some, elites create it for us. The people who don't take heed and learn right now, it's gonna be bad. Like, not to fearmonger or anything, but they're not gonna be living the life they want to because they didn't take this opportunity to learn and see what's changing and position themselves to create that life for themselves. So I feel like we're going to see a tide. We're going to see Black people who are successful more than ever.
I agree. Like, I think you get to choose who you want to be in the New World Order. My concern is that not enough people's eyes are open to what's really going on. Not enough people are actually digging. Like, you know how common it is for somebody to just believe what they're told?
Oh, really? For real?
So there's
Probably too
that
much.
challenge, teaching people to dig.
For
Like, you got
sure.
to dig for this. I don't know why they think becoming a millionaire is supposed to be like that. No, you're going to work for it.
For sure. And I think with crypto, like the work is a little bit easier right now, I guess, because if you do the research, it can't be as easy as letting your money sit and multiply.
Yes.
If you don't do your research, you can get finessed and you will get wrecked and lose your money for sure. But if you do your research, it can be as easy as it ever has been.
Yeah. I feel like poor people are going to suffer in the New World Order. Back to that New World Order question. I don't think color is going to matter. I think and here's why I say that. And it's not because I don't think color matters. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the future, they're widening the gap between the rich and the poor. They're erasing the middle class. So they're using these tools, inflation, you got more money, but you don't really experience it. And so much is happening. And if you look at the stats during the pandemic, the wealth moved from the bottom to the top. So they're widening the wealth gap. So there's going to be rich and there's going to be poor. And those poor people are going to suffer. And that's what I think is going to happen in New World Order. I don't care what color you are. If you're poor, that's what I think is going to happen. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. That's why I run my mouth. I talk about crypto every single day. I feel like this is my chance. When I first started learning about what XRP did, I was like, Mama, we made it. Because I know what I found. And I've been researching it for years now. And I just know. I know that XRP.
That's a gem, for sure. And
is a huge project.
I think a lot of people are gonna be really mad at themselves for not taking heed to that, because that's a project, a coin, a gem that we mention every single time. And right now it's hovering around 70 cents, 80 cents. I think soon this is going to be the last time it hits this price. The last time we can get it this cheap. And like every time, like I have like a decent small bag, but every time I look at it, I'm like, damn, I wish I had more. Like I wish I had 10 times this. But like you said, and like other people say, even having 500 or 1,000 XRP will change your life in the future. Yes. Like you low key might need bodyguards. I'm not hyping it, but that's what Lala put into my head for sure. I was like, damn, I didn't think of it that way. But
I did think of it that way. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get everybody security. Once sure. Let me tell you how I calculated it. And I calculated about 5 different ways because I'm an accountant. I started running the fundamentals. I started saying, okay, if you accomplish your objective, what does that mean? So then I looked at the objective and I was like, oh, this is the market value of that objective. Well, XRP got like 50 use cases. So I ran like a bunch of them. And I was like, I took the value of that market and I said, y'all might not even get the whole market. Y'all might get a little tiny piece of the market. So I took 10% of the value of whichever objective and I divided it by all the XRP in existence so I could get what I think would be the end price of XRP. I've heard those crazy numbers. I've heard from 589 all the way up to 50,000 and beyond. I have heard that. I will tell you, I don't have a number, but if you got about 1,000, you might need a bodyguard later on.
For sure. And like I saw somebody ask, where do you get XRP? My favorite is KuCoin. Like I would,
you could buy. Able to get it on KuCoin even now?
Yeah. What I do is I get Tether, and I send it there, and I trade it. So I trade XRP. Well, Tether for XRP.
Yeah, I use It depends on what mood I'm in, but lately I've been using Crypto.com, and I use it just like you're describing, but I use XLM. So I buy XLM on Crypto.com and send it to BitTrue. And I get it from Bitrue. You can also get it from Uphold using your debit card.
Got you. And
And that's UPHOLD and Bitrue BITRUE. And
yeah,
KuCoin KUCOIN.
yep. And it's super odd how like they make it so tough to get XRP. Like that right there should tell you. Like if you do your Googles on XRP, you're gonna see that they're in a case with the SEC. That's all it'll show. But I'm gonna let you do your own research to determine that yourself. But it's crazy how like getting into crypto will show you how much more corrupt this government is, and how hard they try to keep people from becoming wealthy, from changing their position. They like to keep their foot on our necks, and anytime we're coming out of that, they pass new laws that they make it a little bit tougher to get that. So that's why it's hard to find XRP. You used to be able to get it on Coinbase, but now you gotta finesse your way to get it.
That's true.
And Kareem said debanking is a huge issue I see with digital currency. That's facts, and I think that's a great segue to CBDCs. I saw Lala made a post earlier, and it's about Venezuela. Could you talk about that?
I can. I was trying to do these posts. I cannot figure out how to get Uphold on there.
Okay.
I was trying to post some of the there's Bitrue. CBDCs are government crypto. That's what CBDCs are. CBDCs are government crypto. CBDCs are government crypto. CBDCs, I'm seeing a trend of them being backed by some sort of resource. Like right now, how paper money ain't backed by nothing. CBDCs are being backed by certain countries' natural resources. So you got governments creating their own digital currency, and then the value of them is being tied to whatever is plentiful in their country, like gold or mineral reserves or oil. So you have the government creating, their currency in Venezuela. Their CBDC is called the Petromoneda, PTR. You cannot get it in the United States. As a matter of fact, it's illegal in the United States to try to get it. But they are, first of all, they are paying, like if you get a government check, they are paying it using their CBDC. That's huge. That's what Venezuela is doing. They're also forcing people to pay them for, like, in their CBDC for government services and also fuel for international flights. They have to pay in CBDC. So you have an economy, a country, Venezuela, already using CBDCs as almost kind of like a template for what we can expect. And they're not the only country with an existing CBDC. The recent one before Venezuela was Nigeria, but over 100 countries have CBDCs. They're in some stage from development to release, but over 100 now have CBDCs. They bash crypto. They created their own crypto.
And that's the way they're finessing people for sure. Like they did a good job scaring people and long enough so a lot of people miss it, and they can create their own and say, hey, this is crypto. This is government crypto, but it's not. It's just another way for them to have more control. Like
they made people so skeptical, right?
For sure. They did a great job.
Very convincing. But if you dig, it's smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors because of what they're doing. They're paying people in their CBDC. And like Venezuela is on the struggle bus. I said that before. Here's why. Venezuela has some of the worst inflation in the world, if not the worst inflation. What do I mean by that? I mean, their money's not worth anything. I mean, today you might be able to buy a loaf of bread with with $100, right? It'll take you $100. I know that's extreme, to buy a loaf of bread, where tomorrow it might take you $500, just like that. So the cost, like how much you can get with your dollar, decreases too fast. That's inflation. And theirs is bad. I put gas in my car, and I looked at it go over $90. I have a compact vehicle. And I used to pay like $50, like a little over a year ago, and now it costs over $91. That's inflation, right? So Venezuela is paying their people in this CBDC, and they're, you know, all the other things, and it's had a positive effect on their economy. Their inflation in 2020 was almost 3,000% for the year. It was 2,900%. And then the next year it was 680 in 2021. So CBDC, and then partnering it with like their reserves and forcing it on their people. Did you hear me when I say forcing it? They don't have an option. Their pensions are paid in the CBDC. They don't have a choice. But it's actually good for their economy. So double edge.
And I think also that's what we're about to see in the US. Like the CBDCs are going to be so convenient. Like, not to get too conspiratorial, but like, imagine if, you know, in 2020, when some people didn't get the stimulus check payments, or they got them too late, took too long, or it got sent to an old address.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a scenario where there's another crisis. And I feel like they're already hinting cyber attacks, but we're not going to go down that route. Imagine where there's another crisis and they need to get stimulus checks out. Yeah. But now they got this Fed coin where it's like, hey, everybody gets their stimulus payment through this app immediately, but you have 2 weeks to spend it. And you can't spend it here, here, and here. You can't save it. You can't put it in crypto. You have to either pay rent or get groceries with this Fed coin stimulus. That's how it's going to be. And that's how Lala just phrased it right there with forcing. That's how they force you to use this new currency. That's how they're going to force people to use it. Yeah. And if you're not trying to move on their time, right now is the time to position yourself.
You're absolutely right. And I don't think it's a conspiracy. And that's because I'm like a huge nerd. And I read it. I read it in multiple government papers. And I read it in multiple white papers from central banks, from Bank for International Settlement, and they literally talk about controls. They talk about being able to limit how long people have to spend it. It's in black and white. It's not a conspiracy. They've written it at the Bank for International Settlements level and the IMF. And if you don't know what those are, banks have levels and they are way up high. And even they're saying that they're going to do that. It's not a conspiracy. They're going to give you a limit of time and possibly limit what you can spend it on. They didn't say that explicitly. They didn't spell that out. But they spelled out that you were only going to have a limited amount of time. And the way they did it was so cool because most people don't have a background in finance and economics where they can read and understand what the heck is being said. It's not like that. It's not easy to understand always. So you read it, and then you get you some friends that can help you understand it. You watch some YouTube videos help you understand it. But you read it for yourself too, even if you don't understand it. And when you start listening to people talk about it, you're going to be like, okay, I remember it said that. I remember that. I ain't know what it said at the time, but that looked familiar. That sounded familiar. It get easier and easier. But yeah, like, it's getting real.
For sure.
And CBDCs aren't going anywhere. I wonder and I worry about them forcing us to get paid in CBDCs, because then everything you do with that CBDC is trackable from the moment you get paid. So there are pluses and there are minuses, but they talk about not allowing people to accumulate it too much. They talk about not allowing hoarding. They talk about not allowing you to pass it from generation to generation. It's not a conspiracy. Come back next week. I'm gonna write a note and I'll mention by name the paper from the Bank of International Settlements. I'll pull them from my notes because I got a stack from like the ground up here high. So I'll pull it. But I'll bring up the exact paper. What else do they talk about? They talk about the reason that they're gonna do it is so they can control the interest rate, control inflation, and financial stability. So they're gonna limit how fast you spend your money, your ability to save it.
That's scary right there. Like, I think that part got to marinate what you just said. Like,
they trifling. Listen.
For real. Like, they're going to have a limit of how much you can have. Like, now you can't hoard after decades and generations of them hoarding dollars and money and passing it on from generation to generation. After they done accumulated that money and bought up all the assets, all the land, the gold, the water, the resources, they're trying to tell people now, like, all right, with this new currency, you guys can't stack it.
Yeah.
That's the scary part right there.
That's what they're saying though. Like you got to spend it on this, and you got this amount of time, and it's it's like in black and white. They're gonna, like, they call it helicopter drops. I know that sounds stupid. They also mention universal basic income, which are very similar concepts. Universal basic income, that's what the pensions are going to turn into. That's what, in concept, right? That's what, like if you're on a welfare system, or, government benefits, even like military benefits, because those are government benefits, pensions, anything, all of it is going to come through a CBDC, and then they're going to tell you how to spend it.
Hey, what's good? What's good? We got Ben from Crypto Wealth Builders on here, another legend for sure.
Hey, what's up?
Glad you could hop on. I might have invited him too early. He said he had to get ready and stuff. So
no, I was recording because I'm creating a beginner's course. So I was like recording like a course.
Hey man, guys, be sure to follow Lala and Ben. Like, they giving free crypto gems every day.
Hey Ben.
Oh,
how was
Lala,
your day?
It was good. Lala, quick question. Are you Haitian?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Got you. Hold on.
No, I just wanted to know.
Got you. And Ben hopped in on the right time, because I see a comment from night before 1984. He said XRP is not guaranteed to go to $100. It could work as a stable coin if they could issue more or whatever.
Wait, who said XRP is guaranteed to go anywhere?
Hey, but he said it could be a stable coin. I don't know. What you think?
Wait, who said XRP was guaranteed to go anywhere?
Wait, are you asking like who commented, or are you saying there's no guarantees?
Oh, no. I'm just asking. Yeah, I'm asking who said that there was a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
nobody, I don't think.
No, nobody ever did say that.
Yeah, no, there's no guarantee for anything. Back in 2012, if you said that Bitcoin is going to, $50,000, you'd be crazy. Bitcoin was like back at, like $100, $300. No one thought it was going to go to 50,000, 60,000.
For sure.
And now everyone's the expert.
But with that said, though, it seems like you're comfortable with your investment in XRP, like your position in it. Like, what makes you believe in it so much?
What makes me believe in it so much?
Yeah, like a quick answer for night before 1984.
Okay, all right. So you have a company named Ripple. Mm-hmm. Ripple has partnered with every single major bank in the world. These banks are using XRP and are using the XRP ledger. Why would I want to take a gamble on anything else? You see, the thing is this. There's a psychological game going on, because the human mind thinks that if a cryptocurrency is $50,000, that is more valuable than something that is 70 cents, 80 cents. So you're more likely, as crazy as it is, you're more likely to want to buy something that you perceive as more expensive than the thing that you perceive as cheaper. And I could give you 5 cryptocurrencies that I'm very, very confident on that are under $1 right now.
Yes, we live for it. I'm here for it. We live
yeah, could you share those?
What are those 5?
These are the ISO 20022s. Like, these are the ones that everyone, knows about. XRP, XLM, XDC, IOTA, Algorand, Quant. Well, Quant is not under $1, but HBAR. These are all great cryptocurrencies that are going to be part of this new financial system.
For sure. And I seen Honey Child commented, "Do you think millionaires will become on the same level as ordinary people, money wise?" That's in regards to Lala's point that she said before, basically about a two-tier system as CBDCs roll out, where it's just you're either rich or poor. There is no middle. So, what do you guys think? Is $1 million going to be good enough to have you chilling?
I think, yeah, I agree with Lala. I think $1 million is going to be. It's not even about the money. It's about the freedom that you have with your life. Like money is a tool to get time, like get your time back and get free. Like money isn't just a tool just to like spend on, whatever you want to spend it on. Like you make money so that you don't have to work 40 hours, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week at a job that you don't like. Like that's why investing is so important because, from the time I first invested in XRP to now, I made money, as Lala made, as everyone in the cryptocurrency community has made money. If you were here back in, 2017, 2016, you've made some sort of money, so you use that money to make it work for you. And eventually you get your time back. I don't work for anyone. I do not work for anyone, so I get my time back, but that's just my choice because of choices that I've made in the past. I have the choice to work for someone. I have the choice not to work for someone. That's true freedom.
It is.
Big bars, for real. Do It For Her LLC said, "What's the best way to combat this?" I guess she's talking about everything we're speaking about in terms of how the quote-unquote elite are robbing us of our time, energy, and wealth, and what the future looks like.
What's the best way to combat it?
Yeah.
Like,
or at least position yourself to be in the best position as possible.
Man, I mean, I'm not like, bro, compared to others, like I'm just starting in the game, right? Like I've been in the space for probably like 5 years. I would say 5 years or 5 years, I would say. So like compared to others, I'm just getting started, but I would say, I mean, even if it's not crypto, have something that is making you money. Like it's like the cliche, like, oh, you need something that makes money for you while you sleep. And it's like, yeah, you kind of do need something. So it doesn't even have to be crypto. You could go on social media like I'm doing, on TikTok, on Twitter, post every single day, and then eventually you build a following, and guess what? You release some sort of a course. So I'm going to be releasing a quick course that's going to be mobile friendly. I'm going to charge like what, $2 for it, $5 for it, whatever. And then, that's like a passive income, because guess what? On, Twitter, if you have, 10,000 followers, you could introduce your course to those followers. And hey, even if 10 people buy it, 20 people buy it, right?
Yeah.
Like you're still making more money than you would slaving away at a job. Most people, they're making minimum wage. And minimum wage is like what? Like $8 an hour? $9 an hour?
Sure.
You can make $9 from one transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just from selling a course or selling a t-shirt. So it doesn't only have to be crypto. I just like crypto. Find something you like. It doesn't have to be crypto, but find something you like, or like everyone has a passion for something. Go on Twitter or on TikTok. TikTok is the new app. Go on TikTok, post about it, and you're gonna find people that vibe with you. And then after that, eventually, release a course or an ebook, whatever. If you like cooking, cook every single day, and then guess what? You have your recipe book. Release a recipe book and charge like $5 for the recipe book. I mean, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Everyone can do this.
For sure. That's big facts. And I think what you said is 100%. That's what the quote unquote, I keep saying it, but the elite, they want people to think that we need these jobs, that we can't do anything without them. And that's what irks me the most is whenever people post things that's outside of that normal train of thought, it's conspiracy theory and it's fear mongering. But the best thing to do is detach from these systems. Like, they're literally robbing us of our energy with inflation. There's people who work minimum wage and you can't afford 2 gallons of gas now off of working 1 hour. So your 1 hour of energy is not worth 2 tanks of gas. That's crazy. What about you, Lala? What you think?
I mean, I think that you got to start by like teaching yourself how to hold on to whatever money comes into your hand. Like that's a huge challenge for a lot of people. No matter what or how much money you get, you can't seem to hold on to it. You got to address yourself first. That's how you combat what's coming. You focus on yourself. You focus on learning. You focus on changing your habits. You focus on trying to understand which of your habits are not good for your money and which ones are. And read books. Read, for principle, read The Richest Man in Babylon. That's going to give you principle.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's going to give you principle. Like, you're going to read principle after principle. And then you start trying to figure out how to apply those. And you can use, like Ben said, whatever. It doesn't have to be crypto. But if you don't add the action to addressing your own habits, if you don't already have those habits in your own education, it says that long-term wealth isn't carried into the 3rd generation. More than 90% of it disappears. So that's why it's super, super, super important to address yourself. That's how you combat. For me, I think that's like a big one, because it don't matter what you do with the money if you can't keep it.
Big facts. And I think just to reiterate kind of like what Ben said, it's definitely about passive income and just
Yes.
creating new for real, creating new income streams. But again, I think that's the reason why I big up crypto so much, mainly because I know it takes money to make money. So I'm not saying, yo, like, sell your house, put it in crypto, and, you know, just keep it there. The reason why I big up crypto so much is to say, yo, this asset class right now is giving the greatest return in the shortest amount of time. Like, yeah, you could buy stocks, but you're going to have to wait. Yeah, you could do real estate, but you need, like, that barrier to entry for real estate is greater. Like, you got to have a down payment. You got to have good credit. You got to have X, Y, and Z collateral.
Yeah.
So with crypto, it's as easy as downloading an app and doing some research and being like, you know what? I have a savings account. Inflation is actually robbing me of my money right now. Like, the same $200 you had last week, it's not going to buy you the same amount of gas this week. So instead of keeping that in a bank account, I'm going to put this $200 in this crypto that I believe in. Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride. But if you look at it as a saving, that's like, yo, I'm not going to touch this regardless. It's going to make you money over time. Like, I let my Ethereum sit for 4 or 5 years. And if I knew better, I would have took it out and reinvested. But needless to say, it made me money. And I had to do nothing for it. So that's the reason why I big up crypto so much. It's the best opportunity to put in a little bit, get more than you put in, and then reinvest that money. So maybe you take your crypto money and pay off debt, or put it in a down payment in a house, or, you know, create some kind of new income revenue stream. That's the main thing. I'm not saying, yeah, I'm going off, but yeah, like, that's the main thing I'm just saying about crypto.
Out.
That's why I big it up so much. For real. Damn, hold on. Ben popped out, but hopefully he comes back and I'm gonna have to send him another invite. But yeah, I definitely, there was something you said about CBDCs too, but I forgot about it and how Venezuela already got it. And again, it ties back to this. It ties back to this executive order that Joe Biden just put out.
He's spelling it out. He's like, yeah, we're going to have a CBDC, but, you know, I feel like we already knew that. Like, we saw that coming. We're just watching it happen. But I like what you said at the end. I want to go back to it. You were like, what do you do with, like, your gains? What do you do with your crypto? You know, I held it for a really long time. But after that, I started to take certain gains. I definitely probably took my initial investment out a long time ago, or no, yeah, I think I took my initial investment out by now. But you diversify with the gains. That's what you do. Just like what you said, pay off debt. Paying off debt is one of the best things you can do with your gains. Establishing a new income stream is one of the best things you can do, and diversification is one of the best things you can do. So those were solid. I hope that you wrote those down. If you're taking notes, pay off debt, new income streams, and assets. The types of assets you buy are super important. That's a whole nother conversation, but the type of asset you buy is important too. Don't buy shoes.
For sure. Like, don't make them same mistakes that tied you up in the beginning. I think that's the best way to combat this. Like, get new revenue streams, capitalize and use those revenue streams to get more assets and more revenue streams.
Agreed.
And hold on. So like with Ben, I know you missed this earlier part. We're probably gonna get off soon too, though, depending on how much time you guys have. But this executive order, what did you get from this?
It was so the executive order was cool. It basically went over so we can expect more KYC. So KYC is know your customer. So there's going to be some provisions which I sort of saw it coming, where the exchanges will need to know what wallet belongs to which person. So right now, if you have like a private wallet, like a ledger, that's fine. But the exchange will need to know your wallet address, which is public for everyone to know. So like they'll need to know that you are the person that owns this wallet, basically. So you could have your offline storage, but if you want to cash out your cryptocurrency from your hardware wallet to the exchange, then they will need to know. So like KYC now, some people don't like that because they say, the government's invading in our privacy and blah blah blah. And my reply to that is they already do that with credit cards. They already do that with credit cards. So like they already know that you're the person that owns a credit card. So if you do anything illegal with the credit card, they can come after you. So it's the same thing with that. And then what else was on there? I think it was they mentioned that they're going to be working with their international partners to level the playing field and to make payments faster and cheaper and level the playing field. Now, if you weren't in the cryptocurrency space for a while, level the playing field is a phrase that has been used for a very long time, especially among the XRP community. Like that phrase has been used for like the past 2 years. So like now the fact that we are now seeing lawmakers, Treasury saying level the playing field, we already know what that means.
So revealing.
We already know what that means. Yeah, we already know what that means. So that means XRP. Now, I'm not saying that XRP is going to be the only one, but it's going to be one of the major players. And then what else? KYC. The central bank digital. CBDCs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So CBDCs will be interesting. I think I heard Lala say that CBDCs could be used to control people.
Not people, but I read and I can't remember which paper it is, but either World Bank or IMF or BIS, where they were talking about certain controls. They say the reasons behind them are to control like stability, for financial stability, and to control inflation. But they talk about time limitations on how long you can have a CBDC. We were speculating on whether or not they would put limitations on what you could buy, but they already talk about in those papers, they already discuss time limitations and not allowing people to over accumulate the CBDCs. So that was interesting too.
Yeah, so that's very, very interesting. It's definitely going to be a way to control people. I think this is what China does. This is what China does in China when they want to stimulate the economy. Like, they send people, they've been sending people a certain amount of money, and they have to spend that money, within, 2 days or 3 days, in order to stimulate the economy and to fight inflation and all that, So, that will definitely happen. But again, with crypto, this is the beauty of the cryptocurrency space, because you don't have to be beholden to these systems anymore. Like, you don't have to be a CBDC user. The people who are going to be using CBDCs and are relying on CBDCs are the people that are not in cryptocurrency today. Because I'll be damned if the government sends me money. Well, if the government sends me money and I have to, spend it, then I'll invest it, whatever. But I don't want a government telling me what to spend my money on. And I think that, this is in place because I think that governments around the world are preparing or trying to find a solution for like mass unemployment. Because I think that already with the C-19 pandemic, I think that there's going to be even more mass unemployment. There's going to be more mass unemployment, especially with automation and stuff like that. Like people who thought that they're going to get their jobs back, they're never going to get their jobs back. Yeah. So it's going to be tough to support all these people. So I envision a lot of people are going to be unemployed. So what are they going to do? I mean, they can't do nothing. So they're going to have some sort of money to survive, right? So like the government is going to be like, oh, we'll come to save you. We'll just give you $1,000. Yeah, we'll give you $1,000 a month, universal basic income. You have to spend it within the month or else you don't get the next $1,000 the next month. And people will run to it because, they don't have any other stream of income because they're not listening to the BlxckMonopoly. They're not listening to Lala. They're not listening to Bully Crypto. They're not listening to us. So they have to go to the government and get that $1,000 every single month. But little do they know that the government's controlling them. But I guess in their mind, they can't think of that because they're just trying to survive, which is the position that the government wants us to be in. They just want us to be in a position where like we're always trying to survive. Yeah. So this is why investing in crypto is so important, so that you could take your crypto, take your money and put it into a piece of real estate, other cryptocurrencies, invest in the metaverse, NFTs, make an NFT, create that, this is why you should make your money work for you so that you don't have the government's money, basically so that you don't have you working for the government's money.
For sure. And that's what cryptocurrency is. Another form of currency so you could do what you want. So with these CBDCs, what Lala just explained, like you're not going to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to buy Apple stock in my CBDCs. Or I'm going to buy this so I can level up.
Nope.
I'm going to buy real estate. Nah, it's going to have specific instructions. Like you can only spend this on rent and food. And you have 1 week to spend this. So the only people who are going to have that freedom. Yeah. The only people who are going to have that freedom are the people who have alternative currencies right now, whether it's gold, silver, whatever else it is. You're not going to be able to move how you want.
Nope.
And it's not to be scary. Like, don't be scared. Don't be fearful. The reason why Lala and Ben, like, the reason why they're giving you guys this free energy and this free time with their pages, their content, is because they're telling us, like, yo, right now is the time to be on our shit. Like, right now is the time to be focused, not scared. Don't be fearful of what they're putting out in front of us, but take this opportunity to position ourselves as best as we can. A little bit will go a long way. You might not have 10,000 to put in, but if you got 500, like, put that in. Like, let it sit. Like, do your research and the projects you feel comfortable about. You guys already heard Ben and Lala always say XRP. That's a major gem that we all believe is safe and will continue to grow over time. And right now it's like hovering around 80 cents. It's not going to be like that for forever.
Man.
For sure.
I still think we're early, but
time's running out.
Getting there.
For sure.
Time's running out.
For sure.
Time is running out.
And we're not making no money off of this. So like, not to sound like we're fair market or nothing. Like, we don't own. It's not like we own these companies and we're like, yeah, we got to get everybody into this. We're literally trying to help everybody. Like, yo, there's a storm coming. Like, the wave is coming. Do It For Her LLC said, I knew my heightened sense to acquire wealth this year was for a reason. For sure.
Yes.
For sure. And don't feel pressure to be like, yo, I need $1 million tonight. Like, start small. Do your research. Put a little bit in at a time. Continue to, dollar cost average. And, we all in this together though. Like the people who are like-minded, that's another thing. We all got to link up. We all got to connect and continue to put other people on who can see this. Not everybody has the knowledge. So that's why I appreciate these two for sure for putting out this information for free.
And get some gold and silver if you can.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, before the COVID-19 pandemic started, I bought a few like silver like eagles, whatever, And like, like I showed it to my dad. My dad thought I was crazy. Like, what the hell are you doing with this? Like I'm just like, Dad, it's a hedge against inflation. I need to, I need to buy it. And he was like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. But, now he understands 2 years later. Now he understands why I do this, because look at the economy. Look what's going on around the world. The Russian ruble is tanking. It's done. The Russian ruble is done. Indian rupee is done, And I think last time I came on the show, I was talking about how like more currencies are going to crash. Well, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
We're seeing it. More currencies are going to crash. And one lady here asked if fiat currency is like dead. No, fiat currency is going to be here to stay forever. As long as governments are here to stay, the US dollar will be here. The Russian ruble, European euro, these will all be here. It's just not going to be worth what you think it's worth.
Sure.
So you can use the US dollar all you want, but you're not going to be able to buy what you want with it if you don't, because it's being inflated to infinity. It's not going to be worth anything,
For sure. And like before we skate off, we'll take a couple more because we have been on it for an hour. Hopefully we can get Ben back next week and for weeks to come so we can hop on and like continue doing this. You bring a lot of value for sure, but we're gonna take a couple more before we skate out. Leia says, can you go over how to get XRP? I know you mentioned a conversion or transfer. Well, the way I get it is KuCoin. So I go on Coinbase and I get USDT. I buy USDT for now on Coinbase. I don't hold USDT. That's not something I'm saying you should hold. I use that as a way to get out of it quick. So I convert my US dollars into a stable coin called USDT. And then I send USDT to KuCoin. And then I trade my USDT for XRP. I'm not sure if you guys have any other ways to get XRP, but that's how I get it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Smooth.
It's great.
And D. Lyles says XDC is hardly mentioned as it is in the ISO 20022. Any thoughts? How do you guys feel about XDC?
Love XDC. It's a nickel.
I love it.
Is it a nickel right now?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a 5 cents.
Love XDC.
See, that's
5
another cheap gem. It's 5 cents. Like, people keep saying we missed the train. Like, people missed the train. People already made their money and their wealth. We haven't. XRP is 80 cents. XDC is 5 cents. XLM is what, 20 cents. These prices are crazy.
Guys, let me tell you something. You don't want to be the person because let me tell you something. This talk right here will go down. You don't want to be the person that's listening to this talk, and then a couple months later, when the price of XDC is $100 or $200 or something crazy, like you don't want to be the person that's like, oh, I should have bought. Oh, I should have bought.
For real.
Oh,
For real.
I've been that person.
It's such a sucky feel. It's a bad feeling. It's a really, really bad feeling.
It is.
So you don't want to be that person. I'm not saying no guarantees. I'm not saying XRP is gonna go to like $100 anytime soon. I'm not saying that it could or it couldn't. I'm not saying that, but take whatever you can and buy some of these ISO 2022 cryptocurrencies with it.
There you go, right there. That's a dope disclaimer right there. Those ISO 20022 cryptos.
Mm-hmm.
Big gems.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to say before y'all leave? Any questions? Any last questions, like really quick? If not, we about to skate out.
Yeah, whatever questions they have. I always have fun doing this, so thank you for inviting me.
Which gold and silver is best to get on Coinbase?
What?
Someone asked which gold and silver. No, gold and silver. You can't buy it on Coinbase.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can't buy that. I mean, I guess maybe there's projects or coins backed by gold and silver or something, but I think having physical is definitely
physical gold, physical silver is also great. That's my preferred way to hold it physically, but I have some shares, so we shall see how they fare. The price of gold right now is up. Last I checked, it was up.
Gotcha.
Which
And
I
Claudia,
find ironic.
it is interesting that the price of gold is up. I be watching blockchain backer on YouTube, and he pointed out how the U.S. dollar was going up, and it hit that Fibonacci number, and then it started going down. So same thing with gold and
That's
oils.
very good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for altcoin season. Claudia said, "I'm 19 years old, and I want to start investing. Where do I start?"
Beautiful. Beautiful. You want to start investing.
At 19,
Okay,
that's pretty
so
good right there.
yeah, that's a good one. Lala, you want to go or you want to?
Yeah, investing. I thought you were gonna just go off from that point.
Oh yeah. I would say first find a content creator that knows what they're talking about or that you like. So listen to someone like either me, Lala, Blockchain Backer, Bearable. Whoever it is. Find a content creator that you can build a relationship with. Then, as far as investing, if you choose cryptocurrency, not financial advice, but if you choose cryptocurrency, highly suggest the regulatory compliant cryptocurrencies. There are 19,000 or 20,000 cryptocurrencies that exist, right? You can't invest in everything, okay? But, figure out, and even before that, evaluate your own financial situation, figure out, okay, what am I making? How much money am I making right now at this moment? Okay, am I surviving? Because if you don't have enough money to survive, don't even think about cryptocurrency. If you don't have any money to survive, don't even think about cryptocurrency. So like once you have your personal finances settled, get rid of debt first. Like try to get rid of debt or try to make an effort to pay off debt like credit card debt before you even invest in cryptocurrency. Then after that, go to the ISO 20022 cryptocurrencies. ISO 20022, XRP, XDC, XLM. The first one I would start with at this point is actually XDC because it's 5 cents. And I look at all the ISO 20022 coins as one and the same. Like all of them have different functions, but all of them are going to succeed. So at this point, I'm going to look at buying the cheapest one right now, and that's XDC at 5 cents.
Got you. And I answered somebody else's question too of what cryptos to buy. So XRP, XLM, XDC. Look into those ISO 20022 coins. Lala, you want to go?
No, I love those coins. I also, because it's a little cheaper, it's even a little cheaper. I like CSC.
Casino coin.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you like
I
CSC?
like casino coin. Same reason I like XRP. Regulated industries.
Ooh, and give a little. Oh, wait, go ahead.
The regulated casino industry. So similar to XRP in the regulated, basically financial industry, we've got CSC in the regulated gaming or casino industry. And they're doing all their work behind the scenes. They're not even bragging big, but they're doing big things. And they're built, now they moved over back to XRP. They're on the XRPL. They're on the ledger. Oh, man. I just think that there are good things in store, good partnerships, and it's less than a penny. So you could really make $50 work for you. You could really make $100 work for you on a project that's less than a penny if you have a little bit of patience. And then once you buy them, you just keep following your research, and your research will either confirm how you feel or shift how you feel. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Like I love XRP, XDC, and XLM, but I also love CSC, especially for the price and the utility.
Yeah, CSC is a really, really good one. CSC is a really, really good one.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, quick thing. So yesterday there was news that, and I should have acted on it, but this is what happens when everyone needs to figure out, follow the news, because yesterday, the whole executive order came out, but then the Federal Reserve released a statement that they're working with a blockchain company for their FedNow payments, and they're listed as a service provider. And this company is called Cypherium, right? Now, Cypherium is a Chinese company that's working with our Federal Reserve, right? They're a service provider. So they're providing some sort of service, like blockchain service, cryptocurrency service, to the Federal Reserve, right? Now, I learned about this project yesterday, right? Yesterday. I learned about it. Literally, it wasn't even 24 hours, right? When I saw it on CoinMarketCap, because they have a cryptocurrency, the price was 1 cent. After that news came out, it wasn't even what, like 12 hours. After 12 hours, the price went up 200%.
Wow.
Damn. So wait. So what's the price now?
Well, right now it's at 3 cents. So it went from like 1 cent to 3 cents.
Wow.
See, so that's what.
If you'd put $100 into that, right, you could have made 200.
Yeah.
So you could now have $300 in your pocket right now. But this is the news. Sometimes you have to act fast. I didn't even know they had a cryptocurrency until yesterday, and by the time I was even thinking about it, the price was already up.
Wow.
So this is what happens. But yeah, no, back to Casino Coin. This is why Casino Coin is so important, because it's in a regulated industry and it's less than a penny. So put a couple dollars in there, see what happens.
For sure. I'm hoping every day I pray that Casino Coin can go back to that, at least close to that all-time high it hit of 50 cents. If it can hit 50 cents, I'm like, oh God, please. So guys, look into Casino Coin too. That's a little bit, I'm not sure how you guys view Casino Coin. I view it as my kind of like my gambling bag, where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put some money in this, and this is the one I close my eyes with. But XRP and the other ISO coins, those are the ones I'm like, all right, I got faith in these for sure, 100%. Casino Coin, I do too. But that's my goal, big one.
Casino Coin, the reason why it reached 50 cents is because they were migrating from their own blockchain to the XRP ledger. So it really, the price does say that the all-time high is 50 cents, but it really wasn't, because people were moving their coins from the Casino Coin blockchain to the XRP ledger. So just for a split moment, it was 50 cents.
Got
you. Yeah. So it was basically like a fluke.
Got you. Let me see. It looks like we don't have any more questions right now. So let me see. Yo. Oh yeah. Somebody asked if the live gonna be on YouTube. Yeah. Is the live gonna be saved? I'm gonna put it up on YouTube. Also on the page too, but I know IG is not for long form content, but still might post it there anyways. But yeah, it's gonna be saved and on YouTube. Just be sure to follow Lala and Ben, the Lala Pete Show and Crypto Wealth Builders.
Wait, what's your YouTube channel?
It's just BlxckMonopoly. So I'm gonna put it up on there too, and yeah, hopefully people watch it back, share with people. Every time, I always wish that. Keep
coming back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keep coming back. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get curious, and then it's gonna benefit you.
For sure. Over the course of this live, we've had a lot of people come in. I think this is our largest live. It wasn't all at once, but I can't wait to get the main page back so we can reach more people. But continue to share this info with other people. Put other people in whenever we're on. There's a lot of people who doubt. I love responding back to the comments. So every time after we finish a live, I'm like, yo, why didn't these people come in with these questions and these doubts? Where's all the, where they at? They rather comment it than I can't respond for 30 minutes or an hour. And it's man, this could have been beneficial. We could have helped everybody out.
Right.
So next time, bring people who, for the people in here, bring people who doubt crypto, who people say it's a scam, or who just want to learn.
Yeah, I think that's dope. Good night, y'all. Good night, everybody.
For sure. All right, guys, we'll be back next week. And thank you guys for coming on. Definitely appreciate it. We out.